Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So I want to talk about this terrific matchup, this long-awaited return of Floyd Money Mayweather versus a very capable and, talented Robert Ghost Gurrero. This is a really intriguing matchup. A lot of people, they don't give Gurrero enough credit, but at the same time, I think that has a lot to do with Floyd Mayweather's confidence. When you hear Floyd Mayweather, clowning Robert Gurrero right in his face and sounding so confident, I like to call it basketball domino talk. Growing up and watching a lot of family members and friends, old ass uncles playing dominoes, talking shit. That's what I call it. I call it domino talk. Floyd Mayweather, he does a lot of domino talk, and when he stands right in your face, people actually believe in his confidence. I mean, even when you listen to the haters, when you listen to the Floyd Mayweather haters, when after they watch that video of with Floyd Mayweather in the green room, doing the build up, the promotion for the Gurrero Mayweather fight. After you watch it, then you look at the comments and then you see how everybody's saying, oh, if there goes Floyd Mayweather cherry picking, he's just picking another easy opponent, etc., etc. What haters don't realize is you guys are actually giving Floyd Mayweather more credit than you believe you are. You know why I say that? Because you guys are going off of Floyd Mayweather's confidence. You know what I mean? Like when you hear Floyd Mayweather talk with so much confidence, you start to believe the hype. And you start to say to yourself, man, look, Floyd Mayweather ain't even worried about this dude. That's how we know it's an easy fight. Because because they think, they don't think with common sense, the haters. They start thinking that, if Floyd Mayweather, if this was a real opponent, then Floyd Mayweather would actually be nervous. And that sounds ridiculous as hell because, I mean, if you guys have been watching Floyd Mayweather's career, then he has never had a shortage of confidence. Matter of fact, I remember when Floyd Mayweather was fighting against Diego Corrales, and, that was a 50-50 fight. Matter of fact, the majority of people had Diego Corrales winning that fight. They predicted that he would knock out Floyd Mayweather. And I remember thinking to myself, man, this Floyd Mayweather is in a dangerous fight. And it was funny because Floyd Mayweather, he was so confident while, Diego Corrales got his camouflage on and he looking like he just ready to kill Floyd Mayweather. Here Floyd Mayweather comes out, with his homies rapping, and they over here clowning Diego, talking about how he be beating on his wife and all that kind of shit like that. And you just see the camera keep switching back to Diego Corrales, and he just getting more and more pissed off. And I just remember seeing that and saying to myself, man, I hope Floyd Mayweather know what he doing because he is really pissing Diego off. And Diego, like I said, Floyd Mayweather, he over here just smiling as all this is going on, and he goes in there and he destroys Diego Corrales. So yeah, man, there ain't no confidence lost when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, right? I mean, he may have a shortage of natural, size and strength, and he may not be the strongest puncher, but he doesn't have a shortage of confidence. That's obvious. Like I said, it's ridiculous. People, the haters, and I'm not saying, like I said, I have to make sure I make that known that I'm talking about the haters, because I'm not talking about the boxing writers, the boxing aficionados, because everyone is talking about this is a terrific matchup when it comes to people who actually know boxing. I'm only talking to the biased haters right now when I say this, right? We all know that this is a terrific matchup. You have to give Floyd Mayweather a lot of credit because Floyd Mayweather is 36 years old. He's 36 years old. He's still considered pound for pound the best fighter in the world. First off, I don't even recall, outside of Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones, I can't recall any other fighter that made it all the way to age 36 and was still considered the best fighter in the world and was still fighting fighters 10 years younger than him and beating them. And I'm not just talking about to be announced type of opponents, like tomato cans. I'm not talking about fighting the Jorge Arces and the Mathabulas of the world, or whatever type of tomato cans. I'm talking about top-notch champions. You know, like I said, Robert Gurrero, he just beat Andre Berto, right? He just beat Andre Berto, and he beat him decisively, all right? He's naturally, you know, and the thing is, he beat the hell out of Andre Berto. He backed up Andre Berto. So we can't even, and not only that, but, you know, he actually came in heavier than Andre Berto. So, you know, there's no more of this, oh, he's just a blown-up lightweight. How is he a blown-up lightweight when he just beat two legitimate welterweights? Okay? He beat, you know, I forgot the other dude's name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. But, he beat the other guy, you know, before Berto, and then he beat the hell out of Berto, right? So, Robert Goes Gurrero is a good-ass opponent. He's a good-ass opponent, and I think that, you know, there's a lot of similarities with Floyd Mayweather's last two opponents. I'm not last two opponents. I mean, well, I'm saying his last two southpaw opponents, Victor Ortiz and Robert Goes Gurrero. There's a lot of similarities with these opponents because, like I said, they're both southpaws. They both came off of a win, a defining win to win a championship belt against the same opponent, Andre Berto, right? They both have a real cinematic, you know, life story of how they were brought up, or I won't say how they were brought up. I mean, Robert Guerrero's, his story it lies around his wife having cancer and, you know, surviving, you know, a 50-50, you know, battle that she could have easily died, you know, and, you know, I commend Robert Gurrero for taking time off of his career to be there, you know, with his woman, you know, and putting his boxing career to the side. You know, I commend him for that. By the way, coincidentally, Robert Goes Gurrero, he's actually training at our gym right now, you know, here in Las Vegas. He trains early in the morning for the fight against Floyd Mayweather. So, yeah, he's a really cool cat. You know, he's working with the kids, you know, so he's a really cool cat. But anyway, let's talk more about, you know, Robert Gurrero and his style. You know, I want to talk about his style in contrast to Victor Ortiz's style. All right. Now, you know, when I look at Robert Gurrero and I compare him to Victor Ortiz, one thing about Victor Ortiz is Victor Ortiz was explosive with that type of, you know, he had those quick reflexes. That's how he caught Floyd Mayweather a couple times when you know, Floyd Mayweather would throw a punch and you know he would be out of position, and then Ortiz, he had the reflexes to where he could capitalize off of that quick second that Floyd Mayweather was, you know, out of balance, right? He had that speed. Victor Ortiz, he had the speed. He had tremendous power. Okay, great reflexes. Where he lacked is he didn't have, psychologically, you know, Victor Ortiz didn't have the biggest heart. He didn't have the biggest heart, and that led to his demise in that fight. You know, he was starting to get broken down. Floyd Mayweather in the third round had hurt Ortiz at the end of the round, and Floyd Mayweather, he felt it was time to take him out, so Floyd Mayweather, you know, he started the round off with tremendous combinations. Victor Ortiz came back. He rallied with a combination. Floyd Mayweather smiled at Victor Ortiz. And then once Victor Ortiz, he looked up and seen Floyd Mayweather smiling, that's when he jumped as high as he could with his notorious headbutt. You know, and then he caught a real bad case of a 1-2 piece karma punch, right? Or a karma knockout, I should probably say. Okay? So, you know, I'm bringing that up because, you know, in contrast with Robert Gurrero, unlike Ortiz, he does have that heart, okay? He has a terrific chin, very durable, right? I mean, you got to think about the punches that he got caught with against Andre Berto. It was extremely impressive because he got caught with some extreme hellacious shots. Andre Berto is a puncher, all right? He has never, you know, Andre Berto has never been questioned when it comes to his natural power, right? So, you know, Robert Gurrero, he took those shots. You know, another comparison with Victor Ortiz is Victor Ortiz was more of a one-dimensional fighter. He comes forward, you know, he's heavy on this front foot, so he doesn't really have a lot of ability. He doesn't have a lot of natural movement to get out of the way of the punches. I think Robert Gurrero, he does have that type of... Robert Gurrero, he knows how to box, okay? Like I said, he's not a slickster, but he does know how to box, all right? So, you know, Ghost Gurrero, I don't think he's always just going to be standing there getting caught, eating shots, eating right hands over and over the way Victor Ortiz was. I believe that Robert Gurrero, he's going to avoid a lot of those shots, right? Don't get me wrong. I still see him getting caught a lot more than Mayweather will, but I don't think he will eat shots as easy as Victor Ortiz ate shots, okay? Robert Gurrero also... One thing that I noticed to me, because I was watching a little bit of some Robert Gurrero clips of some Robert Gurrero fights when he was fighting at lightweight. Gurrero used to be a lot faster at lightweight. You can clearly see in his last two fights at the welterweight division, you know, he has definitely slowed down and lost some speed. Okay, so that's one thing right there that I believe Floyd Mayweather is definitely going to capitalize off of. Gurrero, he's going to try to make it an ugly, mauling type fight. You know, he's going to try to do the same thing he did to Andre Berto. He's going to try to push, you know, Floyd Mayweather up against the ropes. He's going to try to hold Floyd Mayweather and punch him at the same time. And basically, that's what he was doing. That's what Gurrero was doing with Berto. Because Berto seen that Ortiz did that to Berto. And, you know, for whatever reason... Berto, I don't know why, but, you know, Berto, he sat on the ropes against both of those opponents, and he allowed them to just, you know, push them up against ropes. Even when the referee jumped in and separated them, Berto didn't try to slide off the ropes and bring the fight back to the center of the ring. He actually just stayed on the ropes, and he kept waving in Robert Gurrero, which was, you know, his own demise. And that's the reason why, you know, he got both of his eyes shut, because, you know, he didn't know what the hell he was doing in there. You know, he's not obviously a Floyd Mayweather. He's not a thinker, right? So this is what Gurrero is going to try to do. He's going to try to make it an ugly fight. He's going to try to throw his lead left hand, and then after he throws it, he's going to try to fall into a clinch. And he's going to try to do that over and over. He's going to try to make it ugly. But see, this is the thing. This is the exact same thing that Ricky Hatton tried to do. Ricky Hatton tried to do the exact same thing. Ricky Hatton tried his best to make it an ugly fight. He tried to sneak in little punches and then tie up Floyd. But when he was, see, because he was successful when he did that against Costa Tszyu. But he wasn't successful when he tried it with Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd Mayweather is such a defensive genius that almost in a way, you're almost, you know, you trying to use smothering and punching at the same time as an advantage, it almost turns out to be a disadvantage for you. Because, you know, you're smothering your own punches and you're making it very easy for Floyd Mayweather to, you know, to deflect them, right? Because, like I said, in the Ricky Hatton versus Floyd Mayweather fight, you know, Hatton, he would get caught with hard right hands from the outside, and then he would try to you know, get close to Floyd Mayweather, you know, trying to avoid getting hit with those inside right hand punches. All right, and then once he got in the inside, he would try to land his own little wrestle punches, and he wouldn't be able to land them. Right, so I see the same thing with Robert Gurrero. You know, it's funny when people talk about Robert Gurrero being a blown up lightweight, it sounds ridiculous. Once again, people want to make excuses because they believe in Floyd Mayweather's confidence. They believe that Robert Gurrero is not going to win this fight. He doesn't have a chance. They believe this because they know how talented Floyd Mayweather is, right? Like I said, now the hater is not going to say it that way, but deep down, that's exactly what they mean when they say, oh, Floyd Mayweather's going to beat this guy easy. He's just another cherry-picked opponent. I mean, now just think about it real quick. If Manny Pacquiao was coming back and he was fighting against Robert Ghost Gurrero, be honest, would anybody be calling Manny Pacquiao a cherry picker? I'm talking about the real biased fans. Would they be calling him a cherry picker? No, of course they wouldn't. They would be praising Pacquiao for taking the fight. They would be talking about how great of a matchup it is, and et cetera, right? If Marquez took on Gurrero, what would they be saying? It would be a great matchup. All right? When Tim Bradley ducked Gurrero, which I think Tim Bradley should have took that fight. But when Tim Bradley, you know, pretty much ducked Gurrero, everybody was, yeah, they were talking about, oh, Tim Bradley, he ducked Gurrero, right? When people hate on Adrian Broner, what do they say? Oh, you ducked Gurrero, though. You ducked Gurrero, right? Now, all of a sudden, it's so funny. Floyd, after Gurrero beats Andre Berto, right? Beats Berto's ass, now all of a sudden people saying, oh, look at Floyd Mayweather cherry picking. How does Gurrero go from being one of the most ducked welterweights to now just a hand-picked opponent? It's all hypocrisy, guys. So anyway, with that out the way, let's go ahead and get into this breakdown of this fight. So I pretty much see this fight, Floyd Mayweather winning unanimous decision, you know, possibly 9 rounds to 3. I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd Mayweather wins a shutout on one of the scorecards, and you know, some of the rounds are close enough to where you can give them to Gurrero, but they go Floyd Mayweather's direction. Okay, I mean, it should still be a terrific fight. I already told you guys earlier, I believe, I know Gurrero, he's going to try to make it an ugly mauling fight, a la Ricky Hatton, but I don't think he'll be able to get away with that like he did against Berto. Okay, he's in the ring with a whole different animal. Okay, so that's the way I see this fight, guys. I'm on to the next one.